Friends and fellow travelers, welcome back to the Journey Wheel on day 19 of the Friendship and Community Challenge, which is asking us, how can solitude empower me? I want you to read solitude as self-imposed reflective isolation, not isolation. There is a need, even if we love to be out and seen by people, interacting with people, there is a need for us to recluse, to go into our cave, to a hermit's cave, to a restorative place, because we need to fill up our cup of energy. And we can do this. We can give our energy to people for a period of time, maybe a day, a week, a month, a year. But eventually, as we give and give and give and don't fill it back up, we will eventually be left with nothing and we will collapse. So what is it in solitude that you've connected with in the past that restores you, that doesn't deplete you and make you want to leave your cave less? What is it that empowers you to want to get back out there with vitality? The Three of Cups in reverse. What this means to me is, if it's upright, this means connecting with people. This is literally the idea of going out and being in public and in community with people in a healthy way. This is, to me, in this question, I need to be a really amazing friend to myself. I need to go inside and look at myself in an objective way that says, here's where you're strong. Yeah, here's where you're weak, but here's where you're beautiful. Here's why I love you. Here's why you're not ugly. Here's why you are strong. Here's why you are not weak. Here's why you are capable of doing everything you set out to achieve, because you're connected with who you are from a place of competence, not of scarcity. I need solitude to show me and remind me that I love myself, and if everyone were to leave me for some ungodly reason, I will still be okay because I love me. I love who I am. I am strong in my own emotional well-being. I am strong because I love me. And if I love myself, I will not attach myself to the love of others. And if they don't show me that love in some way that I feel I deserve it or the way that I need it, I'll still be okay because I'm attaching myself to my own inner security. Solitude reminds me that I am secure. I have enough because I am with myself. My solitude empowers me by reminding me that I am good enough, that I love me, and that if nobody else does, at the end of the day, I love me. And that doesn't mean that I don't want to go back out and meet people and explore relationships. No. I will be empowered to bring that energy into relationship because I won't be desperate for someone to like me because I don't like myself. I'll be joyful to bring who I am to every situation that I'm in and decide if this relationship is one that will manifest into something or it was just another great human experience. Whether I learned a lesson of negativity or positivity. Whether we are going to become lifelong friends or just acquaintances. It's all okay because I first and always am connected to the love for myself. And we all want that. That's not exclusive to me. And I know it's one of the hardest things to achieve, but it's really been a foundation of this last year of my life. And, leading up to it, I've done a lot of work on myself to get to that place because I sat and looked at myself in a mirror and said, I love you, and cried because I didn't. You're beautiful. I cried because I wasn't. No matter who you are, no matter what you look like, there is a reason that you will tell yourself that you are ugly. Even if the world says, you're beautiful, oh my gosh, how could you ever say that? It's about the inner landscape. It's about what I tell myself. And I had to change that narrative, and that takes years of work. And it's finding one small example where you agree with that self-love. And even before I did that, I would look at myself and find the imperfections, whatever they were, and they don't matter. It doesn't matter what my imperfections are, what I see, because it's what I see. It doesn't matter. But what I saw is ugly, or I didn't like it, I would focus on that because I couldn't believe that I loved myself. Couldn't accept it. So I found all of the areas that I didn't love. And I would look at them, and then slowly over time I realized that I would focus on that part of myself. Didn't matter what it was. Visibly in the mirror or inside myself. And I would just meditate saying, I love you, you are not ugly. Whatever that thing was. And over time, I started to accept it because the more I focused on my imperfections, the more I didn't care about them. The more I realized that, so what? I have this physical flaw. I have this emotional flaw. I have this setback, whatever. And as soon as I became aware of it and embraced it, it stopped being so. It's like this. I have a bald spot on the top of my head. And so I sit in front of this mirror. I sit in front of this camera and I'm like, oh, I don't have a bald spot. And then every once in a while, every 6 months or so, I'd see a picture of it and I'd be like, oh my God, I have a bald spot. But I walked through so many situations with that bald spot where no one made a comment. Maybe they did. Maybe they made jokes about it, whatever, behind my back. But I realized that I was showing up in the world in a way that I only saw once every 6 months when someone randomly posted a picture from behind me. So that reality always was with me. I just wasn't aware of it. So the more I become aware of it and become aware of my imperfections, the more they don't feel like that intense, oh, shock. It's not cold water to my face. It's just, yep, I have that. I have a pimple. I have this. I have that. Whatever it is, or I have rosacea, or whatever, asthma. Whatever it is that I have that doesn't always impact me, but every once in a while it pops up. I have to accept that and embrace it. And the more I can realize it and not sit there self-victimizing myself because I have X, Y, and Z, the more I can embrace it. It's just a part of me. And I can do things to change certain things, like my weight. I was, wasn't happy with the way my body felt or whatever. And over time, over months and years, I can change that. I can. But first I have to embrace where I'm at before I can change anything. And some things I'm not getting back. I'm not going to go get hair restoration treatment right now or anything. I'm just going to accept that it's a physical thing that genetically happens to my body. Like, okay, great. So go out and do jujitsu. Go out and be on camera. Like, who cares? Don't always wear a hat, It's simple things like that, and it might be trivial to you. But to me, that situation was a big deal. It was a trigger for me. So whatever it is for you, what can solitude do to empower you? How can you start to give yourself that self-love? Even though it's going to be painful at first, I promise. But you have to stick with it and believe that it's going to work, and take my example if you need it. Find the areas that you don't love about yourself and sit with them and embrace them as being real. That maybe this is something that is just the way it is. And now the more you become aware of it, you don't have to obsess to beat yourself up, but just realize that this is a part of your reality. And if you want to change it, that's the first step. You have to accept that it's part of your reality. So hopefully I can, help you on that path, with these conversations, because the more self-reflective we get in an empowered way, the more empowered we can take our next step. So until next time, journey well, my friends.